everybody, how you doing? Well, it's snowing outside, and it's time for edition of Smirky Inside, where I'm going to be giving you a little sneak peek on things that we are working on here at Smirk and Dagger Games. I'm Curt. I'm the owner of the company, and what I want to show you today is I actually got the prototype right here. I want to show you The Spill by Andy Kim. This is the subtitle of it is The Spill Disaster at DeepWell 4. And it is a game, a cooperative game, where there has been an oil spill that has occurred out at one of these deep sea rigs. And it is just spewing all kinds of crude oil into the water. So your job is to assemble a team of specialists and then go in, stop the oil from gushing, clean up the water, and save the sea life before disaster occurs. Now, when I saw Andy's design back at ProtoTO, maybe been a year or two ago now, he had this very prototype on the table, and it blew me away. It's a really interesting, very tense game of trying to hold back that oil, and it features, as you can see, this dimensional dice tower that represents the oil rig itself. What's really unique about it is that it is a four-way dice tower, and that is, I believe, what really kind of inspired Andy to begin with. So he created this really amazing cardboard structure that allows the dice to fall into four different quadrants. And that's really important because these dice represent the oil that spills down through the well. And as you can see, it randomly drops into one of the four quadrants. So here, in this quadrant, you can see that this is a value 6 die. So in this quadrant, it now goes into the 6th sector of that quadrant. This one is a number 1, so it comes and drops here. This 6 falls right here, and this 6 all the way over there. So already you can see like the oil is just kind of like spilling and spreading into the water. And that is the really cool part about the game. You never know exactly where those dice are going to fall. So you're trying to really mitigate all the risk. You're trying to save the sea life. You're trying to clean up the water. And it is hard to do. It's got a great table appeal. And quite honestly, for a lot of the past time, not only have been workshopping some of the mechanics further with Andy, but we're also looking at the actual construction. Now, this is a very well-loved, well-used prototype, which he did an amazing job creating, by the way. But I don't know if you can see, but it's taken its wear and tear. And I'm trying to figure out, well, what could we do to, like, in the official game, like, make sure that this is easy to set up, build, put down and put back in the box without constantly wearing and tearing it. So I've been working with all kinds of like paper models, like how can I, recreate the idea of what he's got and have something maybe even a little bit more permanent. So just recently, I was working with my son Devin and Ken Grazier to create this bad boy. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Now this is just a 3D print, but it's a modular construction that has essentially 2 funnels on legs that drop down over top of this curved little pyramid, and that's what spills the dice into the 4 quadrants. So that is a pretty impressive unit, and I'm not sure if it's in the end going to be this, if it's going to be more like an acrylic construction, more like this, but we're working on a couple different ways to really make it visually exciting as well as something that's going to, really stand the test of time and not get too beat up. But I want to do really a lot of great work on this game. It's an exciting game. It's a tense game. It's a hard game. So you're going to have to come back at least a couple times to try to actually win this game, I think. Although you can adjust the difficulty settings, so it's a little bit harder, a little bit easier. But your specialists are basically sailing the perimeter, and in that sector, they can push back an oil back into the bag, of which there are 60 dice in this bag. They can rescue a sea life. They can remove oil, but that costs 3 action points, so it takes most of your turn to do, but it's super important to do. So there's a lot of really great decisions, other resource cards. I'll be showing lots of the gameplay, as we kind of move forward. We're going to be enhancing the artwork, and I'll have news on that shortly as well. But I just want to give you kind of just a snapshot of what's coming, what to be excited about. We're looking, I think, to kickstart this bad boy this summer. So I hope that you will definitely be around and take a look for that. See, Jason is out there saying hi from Minnesota. Oh, and back with the Night Cage. Thank you very much. So yes, this is going to be something we definitely will be kickstarting, and depending on how well that does, I think that's probably going to determine what level we can get a finish on that tower. Ideally, I'd like to have something that's more like the orange structure I just showed you. But I have a feeling that this is going to do pretty well because gameplay is great. It's got great table appeal, and I'm super excited about it. So anyway, that's it. Just wanted to give you a little peek, and we'll talk again next week. All right. Thanks, everyone.